Hey you guys, it's Christa with artisticvegan.com and I'm excited to bring you a delicious recipe. I made this for dinner the other night and you guys were asking what it was and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's get into how to make it. It is some delicious tofu and golden rice and an avocado and some hot sauce. So it's really kind of simple. Marinade, I took some tamari sauce, some rice vinegar, some minced ginger, a little bit of sesame oil, and if you don't want to use oil, then you could use tahini, a little bit of red pepper flakes, some syrup of choice, and then you want a little bit of black pepper and some minced garlic, and then mix that all together and you have this delightful sauce. Oh, and I also added water just to dilute it and make it a little less salty, and you also get more sauce that way, so it's all a win-win. Then mix that delicious sauce together and pour it on top of your tofu and let that marinade. The longer you marinate it, the more flavorful it'll be. Then you want to take a medium pot and bring a good amount of water to boil, almost as if you're making pasta. Add some salt to your water. I added about a teaspoon. You could go half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, whatever you like there. And then you want it, once it's boiling, rinse your brown rice under the water for about 1 minute, just to remove any dust or anything that may have gotten on it. And then bring it over and put it in the boiling water and add the rest of your ingredients. Some bay leaves, some whole cloves, some pepper, some paprika. Want to add some turmeric, some cumin, and then I also added a couple smashed garlic cloves and a few slices of ginger just for some added flavor. And then you just give it a slight stir, pop a lid on it, and bring that to a boil and let that cook for about 30 minutes. Then after 30 minutes, you can drain it, and I reserve that liquid because then you can use it in other things, like the next time you make rice, for instance, or as a vegetable broth even when you're making a soup or any other recipe that calls for it. So I would save that because you have all that delicious nutrients in it, so you might as well save it. So I have mine in a jar back there. You drain your rice for 30 seconds and then you put it back in the pot and then put it on the stove and let it sit there with the lid on it for 10 minutes, and then you fluff your rice and then you can just set it aside and it's done. You can also make your rice ahead of time since we made a big batch, and do it during meal prep and then use it throughout the week in various meals. And once it's in the fridge, it actually is better for fried rice to have it cold first and then heat it up. So that's good to know. Once you have all that ready, then you can go ahead and prepare your meal. So I've got my tofu here and it's been marinating and it looks nice. I'm just gonna take the liquid and transfer it. You take your tofu and you mix it into a starch of choice, and I have to shout out to my reader for saying, hey, you know, put it in a little starch. And I did also see this on Sarah's Vegan Kitchen and I really wanted to try it. I'm just gonna keep repeating until done, and then I'll meet you over at the stove. You can come over to the stove, so that's where I'm at, and you just want a little bit of olive oil in your pan or your favorite oil, and go ahead and get that hot. And once it's hot, you can test it by adding one, and once it sizzles, then you can add the rest. Then you want to allow that to cook for about 10 minutes on one side, and I like to put a lid on it and it just compresses it. Then go ahead and flip it and take it 10 more minutes on the other side. And then in the meantime, we'll get some other vegetables going. I sauteed some onion, a couple mushrooms, and a poblano pepper until they were nice and golden brown, adding a little vegetable broth along the way to add some moisture. And then I added the rice in there and gave it a mix, and then I added the rest of that marinade and poured it on top for some good flavor and mixed it around while the tofu cooked. And then I just put the rice in the bowl, the tofu on top, a little bit of avocado, some herbs, and some lime. And that's it. And then you're ready to go. So I hope you love this recipe. You can get it at artisticvegan.com, all the measurements, all the details. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked this video, and go to artisticvegan.vhx.tv for premium content if you want meal plans, yoga, and more. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.